holy shit, they fucking did it. Sorry, afternoon, and don't mind how I look different. It's been almost a year, a lot can happen. More importantly, they did the thing. Steel Ball Run, it's happening. I mean, as I record this, I haven't quite got around to finishing reading it yet, so, Part 5 is my favorite. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I have no idea how you ended up here, but, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is an anime manga divided into Wikipedia's hard. Divided into a total of 9 main story arcs, each following a new protagonist bearing the JoJo nickname. Wikipedia's weird sometimes, but in short, JoJo is really darn good. So each of the aforementioned 9 main story arcs are set in different time periods, have different JoJos, are filled with so many different funny characters, stories, and great music. Holy shit, the music. I want to buy the Golden Wind vinyl so bad, but it's $75 and I'm broke as hell. Speaking of Golden Wind, that's this game, kind of. It's part 5 of JoJo, which is the part that this game is based off of. Parts 1 through 4 aren't super important to understand the story of this game, it's pretty self-contained, but I figured I'd throw a recap in here just so this video makes a bit more sense. Part 1, Phantom Blood. We open in 1881. Kind of. There's a little bit before that, but it's not super important. Anyway, 1881. The Joestars adopt a kid, and after a few years of not importance, that kid, Dio, becomes a fucking vampire. Remember that one is important. There's a weird dude in a top hat, the best waifu, some weird sunlight magic karate involving blood flow, and a couple fights between Dio and Jonathan later, and Dio dies. And so does Jonathan. A few-ish years, in 1938, we meet Jonathan's grandson Joseph. This part's not super important, so fast-forwarding to 1988, we meet Joseph's grandson JoJo, and just realizing I didn't quite beat the Stardust Crusaders game, and that one's part 3. So, flashing back to 1983, Dio, shockingly, isn't dead. Remember, vampire. Back in 1889, we find out that Dio isn't actually dead. It's complicated. When he died, he decapitated Jonathan and stole his fucking body, and then hid himself in a coffin under the water, all the way up to 1983. He's put out of the water, awoken, and then kind of just chills for a couple years until part 3. So back in 1988, we have 2 Japanese high schoolers, a 20-something-year-old Frenchman, a 69-year-old Joseph Joestar, his friend, the late 20-ish Egyptian fortune teller, and a bunch of funky ghosts that punch hard, going around the world in 50 days to kick Dio's ass. Then in 1999, there was some kind of boring and unimportant adventure starring Joseph Joestar's illegitimate child. Can you tell I don't like part 4 all that much? Then in 2001, we have Giorno Giovanna. How does he connect to this weird family tree? Well, rewinding somewhere to between 1983 and 1988, when Dio woke up, he got busy off screen, and then Giorno was born. Or Haruno Shiobana. His name was changed to Giorno Giovanna when his mom, him, and his abusive stepdad moved to Italy. So now we're back in 2001. Giorno is Dio's son, however, since the baby-making part with Jonathan, Giorno is Jonathan's son. Giorno has 2 dads. Part 5 does next to nothing with Giorno being Dio's son, by the way. They have the whole complicated family tree. They barely touch upon it. I don't know, but we're finally caught up with the story, ish. So, I mean, let's just get into the game. I've kind of got my rambling done with. If you know me personally, which you most likely do at this point, you know I could ramble about this for a whole lot longer though, so let's just start with the game. It is late. We open on Giorno straight up murdering a man, and then a grown man licks a child in the face.
Bruno, he's 15.
After the tutorial fight, we get the first real fight. It was iffy and filled with plenty of...
Ah! Move faster! Stop it! Ah! Hit him! Not the air.
Stressful situations, to put it lightly. It took me 12 minutes, and I wish I could say that was the longest fight. I should probably explain the gameplay. This game's an arena fighter where you control people and their stands. I will give explanations on stands as they become important. The first 2 fights have you playing as the JoJo himself, Giorno Giovanna, with his stand, Gold Experience. He punches good, there's not much to it. I mean, in lore, he has the ability to turn objects into living things, I think. This doesn't happen much in gameplay. You kind of just grow trees to trap people, grow vines to trap people. I mean, gameplay and lore-wise, they have two entirely different capabilities. I mean, I'm not going to pretend I don't see why, but just know that I'm probably going to have to split each stand into what they can do in the lore and what they can do in the gameplay. In the first two fights, have you go up against Bruno Buccellati. God damn it, I'm going to get sidetracked in my sidetracking, aren't I? I don't know if it's Buccellati or Buccellati. From what I could tell, Buccellati may be a localized name. This series has a history of doing stuff like that. I mean, Buccellati is a fashion company in Italy, and I don't know, they changed a lot of things for the West. I don't know if this is it. I'm mostly guessing and going off a Reddit thread I found. I could be entirely wrong, but this game calls him Buccellati. I'm gonna call him Buccellati. I like Buccellati better, but Buccellati you do fine. Also, I'm not calling their stands by localized names. Sticky Fingers is the better name. Fight me. Speaking of Sticky Fingers, this fight was terrible. Sticky Fingers is the stand of Buccellati, Roddy, Bruno, and it involves zippers. When I play as him later, I will explain his moveset. However, in this specific stage, it's terrible. I don't like it. We'll break this match into two phases. There's phase 1 with the 5-minute timer. That's the worst. Buccellati kind of just jumps around the stage from point to point to point. Took me 2 attempts. I failed on my first attempt. There were a couple points where I just kept missing Buccellati over and over and over again. It got annoying. Although, once I got through that, the phase 2, as we'll call it, really wasn't that bad. This is just a normal arena fight. And I finished, I think, with an E.
You know what? I did it. That's all that matters.
After that, there's honestly a pretty cool cutscene that shows Buccellati is a good person because he doesn't want children to have drugs. Bruno has killed multiple people. He is an Italian mobster. Shit, my bad. Sorry, a gang star who recruits a literal 15-year-old to help murder the boss of the Italian mafia because of the previously mentioned selling drugs to children. Giorno is 15 years old. Also, I'm gonna get distracted again. Cutscenes. This game has 2 major types. There's fully animated and a faux manga style, and they're both really cool. And janky as I'll get out, but like, what isn't? This entire video is janky, and that's the fun part. I really like both these styles. I mean, it's really hard to top Araki's art. Some of the poses just don't work as well. The anime's there too, I guess. I actually really like the anime. I need to stop knocking on it. I like Giorno in pink. And speaking of Giorno, he's voiced by an actress named Romy Park, who voices the main character in a, little-known anime called Full Metal Alchemist. She plays Edric Elric. This is what Giorno sounds like. I'm used to the anime's actor, oh no, I am so sorry. It's weird to hear Giorno actually sound like a 15-year-old.
Buccellati. Trust me. I'll be a primo mafioso.
Anyway, there's a game I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm in a rant. I'm moving on. Bruno takes us to prison to meet a big mob boss in the Italian mafia place. His stand's got a really cool mechanic. He can only move in the shadows, and that's both in lore and gameplay-wise. It's a really cool fight mechanic. It took me another 12 minutes, so I forgot there was a dodge button. It's my bad. Although, here's some funny clips of me getting my ass handed to me.
Oh, I have to waggle. I wasn't paying enough attention. I'm waggling. What? How am I supposed to damage him if he just grabs my stand? It just manhandles him. This was not part of my idea. I'm waggling. That's not what you were supposed to pick. Come on. No. I have 30 seconds left. Gah.
There were points in this game where I was making angry monkey noises out of pure rage. It got bad. Anyway, after beating up a stand, Popo then lets us into the gang where he eats banana-flavored bullets. I know I ran through that rather quickly, but this game took just under 6 hours, and in this recap I'm 44 minutes in. Fuck. Anyway, Buccellati becomes a capo in the Italian mafia. Hey Google, what's a capo?
In the Italian mafia, a capo, short for caporegime or capodizzina, is a ranking member who heads a crew of soldiers, also known as made men. Think of a capo as a captain within the mafia's hierarchical structure.
Okay, I guess that makes it. No, Google, stop. Shut up. We then meet the crew that Buccellati is now the capo of. We have Lone Bacchio, Guido Mista, Narancha Gurga, and Panicotta Fugo. I am so sorry to any Italians. I can barely speak English. These guys also, quote, only show their true abilities to those they trust greatly, so I will explain their stance later. We also meet Trish, the boss's daughter, who these assets are tasked with protecting, bringing to the boss, and going shopping for what? Anywho, where Narancha immediately runs into an enemy. This fight didn't take very long. Narancha stands as a bomber plane named Aerosmith. It took like 3.5 minutes. Bomb beats people. Chapter 4, and if you thought I was mildly erratic and ranting, just you wait. But before I get into that, I have to introduce Bacchio and Fugo's stands. We've got Moody Blues, who in lore can replay events, and in gameplay he punches good. And we've got Purple Haze, who in lore has highly toxic gas that will kill anything almost instantly. Gameplay, he has a pretty decent range attack and can also punch good. Okay, so Giorno, Bacchio, and Fugo are sent to the ruins of Pompeii to find a key hidden in a dog mural. I think. The setup's not important. But there's an enemy. Shocker, it's a beat-em-up game. Here's where it gets really annoying. This enemy has a stand called Man in the Mirror, who can bring people into the mirror world, where your controls are inverted for 3 whole fights. Kind of. There's the first one, where you have to survive 2 minutes as Fugo. It's not bad, it's not a fight, it's just don't die. Then there's a second fight with Bacchio. Bacchio's in the mirror world, Moody Blues is outside of it. You switch between Bacchio and Moody Blues, and Bacchio has its controls inverted because he's in the mirror world, and Moody Blues has his controls normal, and then the guy is named Luso. Luso, Man in the Mirror, he jumps between the mirror world and the normal world, and you have to beat him up. This took a while, but is in a confined space, so overall, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, I got frustrated.
Why is he so slow? What am I supposed to do here? I literally can't even attack him. I literally can't do anything because of the stupid inverted controls.
Sure, but I got through it. The third segment alone took me 46 minutes. And I got so pissed off at this game that I almost gave up on this video. Like, it got so bad that I literally rage quit at one point.
I'm done. Nope, I'm done. I'm done. Nope. No, that wasn't. No, stop it. Stop. No, stop. 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 Why did Steam open? Who opened Steam? No, I'm done. Stop it. Stop. No, stop. 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 No. Yes.
Enter the turtle. They don't explain this one very well. This is Coco Jumbo and his stand, Mr. President. You can put a key in a turtle shell, and then you can go into this cool little room that's inside the shell. You can travel without being spotted because you're now a turtle. Well, you're in a turtle, I guess. I need sleep. Anyway, in the train the turtle is in, we meet these two dumbasses. Mista gets shot, but don't worry about it, he's fine. The shooter is this guy, who can rapidly eat people who don't have ice. This fight alone took me 32.5 minutes. It had...
Yep, okay, cool. But I think I figured it out. I like sticky fingers. What? How? Genuinely. How? Oh my god. Hit him! Alright, I'm done. I'm done. Nope, I can't. Nope. I'm done.
Struggles, to put it lightly, but I beat it. It's all that matters. And then there's this dude who can fish, and his fight, I'm not gonna lie, was rough. I was not doing well. Although, however, this is where I find out this game has a difficulty system. I was on normal. This fight almost made me drop this video, and then I realized I was on normal. Normal. And fights took me 30 minutes. I changed it to easy, moving on. And for some reason the next two fights don't have audio. Both of them he plays Mista. His stand, Sex Pistols, has 6 little men named 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7 who can aim and make him shoot real good. You shoot a frozen dude in a car, you shoot a frozen dude in a normal arena battle, and then this scene happens. Yeah, it's real awkward without sound, so here I record it with sound. Team Buccellati then finally gets Trish to the boss, who immediately tries to f***ing murder her. Bruno says, nuh-uh, you gotta survive the boss's onslaught for 1 minute.
Ah, yep. Okay, that's valid. Fair enough.
I said survive.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh, that was close.
There we go, and then Buccellati dies. And undies a couple seconds later, where everyone but Fugu and Naranja betrays the boss to save Trish, and then go murder the boss.
Trish is me.
Okay, everyone but Fugo. And the team decides to go to the island of Sardinia because Trish, and something to do with her mom, I don't know. They then decide to steal a plane and fly to Sardinia, which, if you know anything about this franchise, flying doesn't work out. Giorno loses his hands, which apparently he needs to use his stand abilities. Don't worry, he does kind of start to use gold experience to turn his brooch into a hand. It's never explained that he can do this, by the way. That's a fight they skipped. Anyway, Trish has to go get the hand on her own against Notorious B.I.G., who will attack you if you move. This segment took 30 minutes and looked like this. It was a little awkward. The camera angle didn't help. Also, turns out Trish is a stand user. Meet Spice Girl, who lore-wise can turn things to rubber. Gameplay-wise, Punch is really good. And her stand cry is... I think that's great. There's also this guy, Notorious B.I.G., but like, big. He wasn't all that bad. The plane then safely crashed into the Tahirian Sea. There's a dead body of some dude, it's not really all that important, and then a Bakyo gets f***ing murdered. The group then gets a call from some mysterious dude, get the name of the boss, Diavolo by the way, and then heads to the Roman Colosseum. On the way to Rome, run into the lowest scum can be. The boss of the Italian Mafia calls these two scumbags. Anywho, the Green Day fight started off as a running sequence where you couldn't let Green Day's Moss or Secco, the dude, touch ya. Then as a normal fight that ends with the 7-page Muda sequence.
Oh, they did it! They did the thing! Oh! That was pitifully short.
After that is the fight with Secco, which was okay. It wasn't that bad. Secco then grabs a bystander, it gets murdered, and we find out that Buccellati is dead, actually. He is a living dead man, and going blind because of it. So he assumes this is Trish, but this is not Trish. And we then meet the mysterious computer man whose name is Polnareff, who, kinda looks familiar. God damn it. So we're winding all the way back to 1988, where we have high schoolers, a 20-something-year-old Frenchman, a 69-year-old Joseph Joestar, his friend, the late 20-ish Egyptian fortune teller, and a bunch of funky ghosts that punch hard, going around the world in 50 days to kick Dio's ass. Polnareff is the 20-something-year-old freshman, and at this point he and JoJo split up to find all the arrows that haven't really been mentioned. They become important in like 30 more seconds, so just chill. Diavolo then at some point sliced off his leg and his hand, and now Polnareff is fighting back in a wheelchair back in 2001.
I get to play as Polnareff.
Where we find out that this kid here is Diavolo, kind of, so tangent within a tangent. This is Doppio. This is Diavolo. These are the same people. Kind of, they're two different souls, but they inhabit the same body. It gets really confusing. I don't understand how they look so different, but this is mainly how Diavolo has remained hidden, I think. I'm not sure. Polnareff is fighting Diavolo, though, and Polnareff fucking dies. But before he shuffles off this mortal coil, he managed to stab his stand with an arrow similar to the one that Black Sabbath had all the way back at the start of the game. And his stand, Silver Chariot, then turns into Chariot Requiem, which somehow managed to shuffle everyone's souls into different bodies. We've got 9 souls in total: Polnareff, Diavolo, Doppio, Coco Jumbo, Giorno, Buccellati, Nista, Narancha, and Trish. Polnareff and Coco Jumbo switch souls, leaving Coco Jumbo to die in Polnareff's body. Doppio and Buccellati switch souls, meaning Doppio kinda just dies. Buccellati was already kinda dead. Mista and Trish switch, Giorno and Narancha switch, leaving Diavolo to, get stuck on to someone's. Never mind that. Fight Chariot Requiem.
Am I fighting it? Why is my stand fighting me? What? Why does this stand have a stand? Oh, I hate this! Why? Oh my god, I hate this! Yeah, I see that, game. Thanks for the warning. Jesus Christ! Back off! Ah. This sucks.
Try again.
I did it.
Great job, and Narancha f***ing died. Giorno's soul gets thrown back into his body, and we find out that Diavolo's soul is mixed with Trish's and Nista's. And I genuinely do not know how to explain this next part. So, I'm just gonna play the full cutscene.
I don't want to just skip the cutscenes, but like I do kind of know all of this. And Buccellati is gone.
Giorno then manages to get the arrow, stab his stand, and
I don't know if like I get to control Gold Experience Requiem or if this is just a cutscene. Okay, this seems like it's just a cutscene. Oh, I really hope that. Do I get to play as Giorno with Gold Experience Requiem, or do I just get to see Giorno with Gold Experience Requiem? I guess we're gonna find out. Ah, let's go. This is the final battle.
This was the easiest boss fight in the entire game. This then ends with Diavolo in an infinite death loop, and Giorno, the literal 15-year-old, becomes a mob boss in less than a week. Okay, it's not less than a week, it is over a week, it's 9 days. This game takes place over 9 days. Giorno is 15 years old and has the power of a god. Anyway, that's the game. So, I'm going to assume that you know the basic plot of Part 5, because I'm going to cover some funny differences that I noticed. Things like how Giorno doesn't drink Abakia's piss, Mario, Zucchio, and Sale don't seem to exist, Tiziano and Squallow don't seem to exist, the stand user who has Babyface that I'm forgetting the name of doesn't seem to exist. We never actually see Giorno learn how to make body parts with his stand. Epitaph doesn't really seem to exist. The Risotto fight canonically happened, but it was shown off screen. Doppio is seen like 3 times because his main appearance is like the Risotto fight that barely happened. And those are just off the top of my head. Here's a couple that I found while Googling. Now, here's the tough question. Do I like this game? Yes and no. I mean, I recommend it pretty much to people who already know the plot of Part 5, though, and can take a rough difficulty. These fights push me to mental anguish at multiple points. Anyway, general audiences might be iffy. Hardcore JoJo fans, yeah, go for it. I had fun. I mean, it was rough, but I had fun. Go form your own opinion on it. I know that I'm wrapping up this video kind of quickly, but I don't know, I've talked about all I've wanted to talk about. I made a lot of angry monkey noises while playing this game, and had a lot of moments that I really enjoyed. Again, this is the 3rd time I brought this up, but like, if you want a better knowledge and opinion, go play it and form your own. Because no matter what I say, my opinions won't 100% match yours, so go play it if you want. Again, it's kind of not normal person friendly. You have to at least know the basic plot of Part 5. It tries to make it self-contained, but not super well. You've made it this far, though, so you probably already know the plot of Part 5 or don't care enough. So, yeah. I'm going to bed. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Alright, hi, thanks for watching. It's 7:19 and at night, the night before this comes out, and I just woke up from a nap where I let the opening scene render with all the going in through the graveyard and all that junk. Sorry for the garbage mic quality. I'm on my headset's microphone next to my computer fan, and sorry. Anywho, I just finished reading Steel Ball Run. At the opening I said I hadn't finished it. I have finished it now. It's pretty good. I liked it. The ending was funky, but I don't want to go into detail without spoiling, and a spoiler warning. So I'm gonna end it here and have to, I don't know, finish whatever I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Bye.